Imagine posting 1 or 2 pieces of tactical content per week, and that alone being enough lead flow to scale your agency. That's what I'm going to be teaching you today. In fact, I'm going to run you through an AI lead magnet strategy that you can apply to your content today without having to blast tens of random short form videos out every week, just hoping for the best, hoping for leads to come to you. Now, this will work for you regardless of what you sell and who you sell it to. As long as you are a service-based business provider, you'll be able to use this strategy from today. So let's get straight into it. So this is the AI lead magnet strategy that I recently taught to a number of our private mentorship students. This is the first time I'm talking about this online publicly. And this is Levi. Levi scaled his agency from 8.5K per month to over 52K per month in 5 months using this exact strategy that I'm going to run you through today. You can see here, he said, well, that's invalidating that. And he said, this new strategy is absolutely crazy. Shout out to a Pointwise. A Pointwise is the tool that we use to facilitate this, although you'll be able to use the psychology behind everything I teach you today and apply it to other tools should you wish to. Okay. Now, he did this through conversion optimized content with an AI lead magnet strategy. It's very important we understand this is a specific content style that I'm going to be showing you. And by the end of today's video, you'll know how you can implement this yourself. So let's get straight into it. There's going to be a little bit of theory, which is very important. Don't skip past this. This is the key in order for you to be successful in doing it and applying the strategy. Then I'm going to go into the practice and actually show you how this physically works as well. So, AI lead magnets. Well, what are lead magnets in the first place? Well, they are free resources that give value up front. Okay, they are designed to warm up cold prospects. And these come in many different forms. I'm going to give you some ideas in a moment and some of the best formats that you can use. These aren't new marketing strategies. Lead magnets have been around for a very long time. And as the name is very fitting, they magnetize leads into your business. It solves one piece of the puzzle typically. So we are not providing a full solution. We are giving value for one small piece of the puzzle, which leaves the prospects, our potential customers, wanting the full fix. Okay, we want them to be salivating when they see that lead magnet and thinking, wow, if he's giving me or she's giving me this for free, what would they give me for money? And then they want to book a call with you and buy your service. Now, it's like a free sample at a deli. Okay, many businesses do this. It's like try before you buy. It's have a little taste of this. Oh, damn, that cheese is good. I want the full slice. So what makes this AI? What makes this different from what is already being done for many, many years across the internet on lead magnets? Well, traditional lead magnets sit behind a form. So typically you drop a link and people opt in. So it's a web page with a name, email, maybe phone number as well, and you send over the lead magnet via that link. But an AI lead magnet meets people in the DMs directly. So it's triggered by a keyword, and you'll see me practicing what I preach. I apply these strategies in my own business through my own content as well. In fact, you can DM me and see this in motion today. In fact, DM me AI lead magnet and I'll send you the entire training that I'm going to be going through today, this entire document, so you can apply this, you can study this in your own time, give it to your team, whatever you want to do with it. I don't care. DM me that keyword and you'll see this exact strategy I'm teaching you in motion today. Now, it qualifies leads in the DMs. It will then deliver the lead magnet and then will also follow up with people in the DMs and then rebook them or get them on the sales calendar if they are suitable for any of the products that you have to sell. Of course, if you're an agency, this is going to be whoever is suitable for your specific service, whether that's a meta ad service, SEO, website, so I don't care what it is, you can apply this. Now, it's a sales conversation when they're in the DMs. It's a very different conversation. Typically speaking, people would send over email saying, hey, I've done this really great thing and I want to give you this resource. If you'd like it, click this link and you can download it. It's very transactional. Okay, there's no human interaction at all. Ironic talking about AI, right? But we're still mimicking human interaction by having those back and forth conversations, by qualifying, by allowing the person on the receiving end to ask questions about the service or about the lead magnet and then feeding into that knowledge base. It is a sales conversation and it is no longer transactional in the way that it is if we're just using a link. So what are some of the types of lead magnets that are very effective? There are 3 simple ways that you can apply this. There are tens of different formats. These are the ones that have been proven to work the best. I've used hundreds of lead magnets over the years, and these are the simplest and easiest to apply across any industry. One-pagers, first of all, a one-pager would be a document just like this that you're seeing on screen. So it might be a Notion doc, it might be a Google doc. It's just going to be a simple one page of information which is going through and teaching someone something very, very specific, in this instance, AI lead magnets. So that's probably the most simple form. Swipe files are also great as well. So swipe files might be, the 10 best performing ads in this niche. And then you've got a whole bunch of images. That's a swipe file. It might be the 10 highest converting typography. It might be that, okay? And then you've just got a swipe file of all of those different things. It might be the 10 highest converting ads in 2024, which is videos, and you've got a swipe file of all of those things as well, okay? So swipe files are like an accumulation of proven products, results, services, case studies, whatever, that you put in one place, okay? They work very well. Case studies as well. So this might be how we took this brand from X to Y, doing this specific curious thing that really makes you want to click. They go through to that, and it's a story on how you got this business results, but also positioned through value, because you're giving them some nuggets of information. But really what you're doing is, whilst you are providing that value, you are demonstrating how good you are at what you do as a business, and therefore making people want to buy from you. When they get then offered this book call, they're going to want to book it with you. Okay, so these are the 3 formats that I would recommend. You can do interactive lead magnets like calculators and spreadsheets and so on. But broadly speaking, as far as like return is concerned, time to money return, then this is going to be the best bang for your buck. Cool. Topic ideation. There's a 3-step formula or 3-step process that I recommend here. It's very simple. And this will actually apply to you on a broad sense, thinking about just your content in general, whether it's short form, whether it's long form, whatever that looks like. You can apply this content ideation strategy. So what you're going to do is you're going to write all of the core areas of consideration relating to your ICP, which is your ideal customer profile. It's your niche, it's the companies that you want to work with, and then your service. Okay, so this might be e-commerce brands as your ICP, and obviously it's a bit deeper than that, a certain revenue level, etc. Maybe it's a certain sub-niche of e-commerce, and then it's, okay, our service is UGC, user-generated content, those selfie-style ads, okay? What are we going to consider in all of those things? Well, what kind of actors are we going to use? What's the video editing style going to be like? What products are we going to sell? What is the offer that we're going to put forward? These are all of the things that an e-commerce brand would want to consider when buying a UGC service from an agency. So think about your niche, think about your service, write down all of the things that are considerables, and then you're going to use ChatGPT, or you can use Claude or any other large language model, or you might even have this information and ask for the top 10 pain points relating to that ICP and this specific service on one of those core sections. Okay, so that might be which actor are we going to use. Okay, and then we're going to get 10 frequently asked questions attached to that. And then we're going to get 10 limiting beliefs. So now we have 30 content ideas off the back of one pillar through the decision-making process of our clients. And you can apply this for each other pillars. And some of you might have 10 different consideration pillars for your ICP and for your service. And you've now got 30 content ideas off the back of each of those. And so coming up with content ideas in 2025 is no excuse. Okay, now we've got tools like large language models, and we can apply them through logic with a process like this. It's piss easy to come up with content ideas. Okay. Most of you, if you've been in the space for a long enough time, will just have a list of all of the things you want to talk about anyway, but this is for you that don't. Now, what you're then going to do is convert existing content assets as well. So you might already have some content that you've already put out that is super valuable. If you're putting out long form or short form, have a look at the content that's had the highest reactions, that's got the most views, it's got the most engagement, etc. And then consider whether that topic is powerful enough for you to actually create a lead magnet from it. And then revisit this and either create a one-pager, a swipe file, or a case study, see which of these apply the best to that specific topic. But success leaves clues, and ultimately if you're putting out content already, it might even just be emails to an email list and you've got the most responses. Have a look at where you've had the most engagement and allow your market to dictate what they are the most interested in, and use that as your topic for the lead magnet. So what is the funnel flow itself? Okay, how does this actually work? We're going to create content with a call to action in it. And it's important to note that this content doesn't have to be, just video content. It doesn't have to be a long form like this. It can be short form on Instagram or TikTok. Actually, for Levi's instance, it was TikTok posts that Levi had been posting, and he'd been putting out a lot of value. And now tactically, as much content as is possible, he is now putting out call to actions to lead magnets as well. Now, you can apply this to Instagram Reels, where I've used it on YouTube videos like this one right now with the lead magnet that we have going on. You can do it on your email list. You can do it on Instagram stories through something that are called Instagram story sequences, which is a very popularized tactic at the moment. And so this content can be multi-medium. The key is the fact that we are giving in that content. And let me know in the comments if you want me to talk very specifically about the content framework in the future. Comment down below. Let me know what you enjoyed about this video and that you want me to do a content framework video, and I'll create a framework because I've got many of them inside of our training in Elite. So what we would do is we would create a piece of content, which again gives one small piece of the puzzle, and then the lead magnet is the perceived unlock to the rest of that puzzle. Okay, so imagine this being the lead magnet is one small piece of a big puzzle. The content piece is a smaller piece of the small piece of the puzzle, which is the lead magnet, and then your service is the whole shebang. Okay, so we're putting out a piece of content that adds value, that hooks them in, gives them a small piece. The lead magnet is the unlock. They opt into that lead magnet, and then we go from there. So I'm going to have a call to action at the end of that piece of content. We're leaving them on a cliffhanger. They want to opt in. We say, DM me keyword. Okay, I've got Blueprint here as an example, but DM me keyword for the free lead magnet, or DM me this keyword and I'm going to give you XYZ for free. I'm going to send you this for free that's going to achieve this for you. Position that value. Okay, we're all marketers, we're all salespeople. To make sure that you're holding it in high regard without overinflating. Don't over sensationalize what you're doing, or it'll actually do the reverse. Okay, now they're going to DM the keyword, as in they being the prospect, and then AI is going to take over. And this can be a Pointwise, it can be another tool. I'm going to show you a Pointwise. I am biased. I'm a co-founder in a Pointwise, but I wouldn't use it or be a co-founder if I didn't genuinely believe it was the best on the market. So it's going to first of all confirm the ask. It's going to say, hey, well, are you looking for this document? Just to make sure there's no confusion. And then it's going to ask 1 to 2 questions to qualify. It's going to tag the user in the CRM system based on their answers, their qualification answers. So we can actually be segmenting our CRM system to push away unqualified leads and obviously highlight qualified leads, but we could also segment people based on their revenue level or based on their qualification criteria, which might then make or allow us to make decisions in the future on remarketing based on specific products that would be suitable for that specific core audience. Okay, and I'm going to show you this in practice in a moment. We're then going to send the lead magnet, and we're going to wait 24 hours to follow up if there is no response. So if somebody is messaging at any stage of this flow and then they stop responding for whatever reason, 24 hours later, we're going to follow up, and I'm also going to follow up after that as well 1 day later, but you can set this to be whatever you want it to be. Now, I've got an example here for you. This is a real conversation on Instagram. Someone here messaged in, and this is for one of mine. This is a recent video that I put out. It's a tonality video that you can go and watch. I think it was about AI, or no, it was about cold calling, I believe. I'll put a link in the description. Check it out. It's on my recent upload. Hey, hope all is well. Hope not too late, but can I get the tonality thing you mentioned a week or so ago? Because it's quite a cryptic message to me, to be honest. Like, can I get the tonality thing you mentioned a week or so back? Hi, all good, mate. Not too late at all. You after the tonality dog. So we're checking. I am indeed. Okay, cool. Here's the link. Sit. Thank you. Nice one. Glad it helps. Just out of curiosity, have you started your agency yet or not quite? If you have, what's your current monthly rev level? And it says, I have, yeah, I've been around for a few years, around 10K. Okay, great. Sounds like you've got some solid momentum there. What would you say is the biggest bottleneck? It's got to be client retention. We bring on a lot of clients who fail to keep them. Makes sense. That's a common one at this stage. Fancy a quick casual chat to dig into it. Free at 10 a.m. or 10:30 tomorrow. Very, very casual, very human interaction here. And I'm going to show you, we're going to stress test this. I'm going to show you it in practice right now, which is what we are now going to do. Okay, so we're going to go through to how to set it up. I'm also then going to give you the prompt, and I'm going to give you the opportunity to get hold of the agent, the AI agent file, which is already built for you, so you can plug this into your business immediately. So we're going to head over to a Pointwise specifically. And what we are on right now is an AI agent. If you haven't watched any videos that I put out on a Pointwise before, put a link in the description and you can go through the basics. But this is built to be used by anyone. It's incredibly simple. All we really have is a prompt, okay, and some instructions, some variables, and then we choose what we want this bot to actually go ahead and achieve, okay? So let's have a little look at this prompt. So the prompt is, you are, and it's going to be your name, what you do and your website link. So this is what our agency is. This is what we do. And you're responding to DMs from people requesting a free resource after seeing social media posts. Your goal is to qualify leads, deliver the resource, and schedule appointments for qualified prospects. So the core instructions are, never use hyphens in any form. AI loves to use hyphens. It's very annoying, but it is what it is. I've got some specific communicational style rules just to make it as human as possible. We're getting it to deliver the resource, and then we have the conversation flow outlined. There are a few little variables that you want to change, like, okay, the keywords, what is the keyword of the document? You want to make sure that that doesn't say keyword. It wants to be your relevant keyword you're getting people opted in for. This wants to be your link to the lead magnet itself. And this is key, actually. This is something I haven't highlighted already. When you are delivering this lead magnet inside the DMs, and by the way, you could plug this into WhatsApp if you wanted to, or SMS, or Send Blue, whatever you want to do, but I find it works best in Instagram DMs. You want to still create a link. You want to still deliver the lead magnet via a link, and I would recommend that being behind a gate. And by that, I mean a form. So here's an example of one of those forms. So this is created in high level. It says subscribe to our newsletter. Bonus, you'll be sent and this is closed, 36.2% of agency sales calls, training resource from our recent YouTube video. Full name, email, what's your monthly revenue level? We've got a qualifier there as well. So we've got a double qualification going on just to see if people are lying in the DMs. And then little verification there, and they hit submit. It then adds them to our email newsletter. So we've got a double whammy. We're building the newsletter. And so we can do that very aggressively, but we are then also sending over the lead magnet to them. So don't just send over the direct link to the lead magnet. Have them opt in still so you can collect their information. You can be GDPR or any kind of privacy law compliant. Now let's have a look at the actual lead magnet that this relates to. So this is the genuine lead magnet. People can still opt into this if you watch this video on YouTube about increasing your agency close rate. And this really is just the notes of a YouTube video. It was very low friction for me, highly valuable though. Someone can take this, upload it to ChatGPT, use it as training and context to rewrite their sales script, give it to their sales team, use it as training for them. It's got all the content from the video, but it was very low friction for me to create because I put in all the effort in the start just to create the content. And this ended then up being a kind of secondary product and knock-on benefit from all of that pre-effort before recording. There's a like call to action at the bottom just to increase conversion. So if people see this, some people will click through those links, which have a good conversion rate as well. But also, of course, we're sending the DMs on the back end too. So this is what that lead magnet looks like. This is what I would call one of those one pages. It's a very simple format that you can use, but you could also create that on a Google Doc or whatever is easiest for you. Okay, so now we come back to a point wise and we go on to here. So that is the link that we will be adding. We'll be adding the go high level link. We're then asking qualification question 2. Some people like to ask qualification questions before the lead magnet. I like to have it like a really natural flow, and I'll show you how this works. We ask them one qualification question, we send them the link, so we give them what they want. We then ask another qualification question. Based on their answers, we then will offer them a booked call. Okay. And so let's go off from here. There are lots of other things that we can add. This isn't going to be a point-wise tutorial video, so I can create one of those in the future if you want me to. Let me know in the comments down below. But we can do character limits, we can choose the language, we can choose typos, personality traits, etc. We can then choose days on how often we want to actually send the messages as well. And just to humanize the interaction, but I'm going to keep this with no delays, so it's very easy back and forth. And then we can choose and optimize how we want the AI to respond. Do we want it to be a hardcore objection handler? Do we want it to qualify quite lightly or allow people to get away easily? And do we want it to be creative or stick to the script? We then go through the conversation, so we can choose, okay, what is the initial message? Are you after this document? We have our qualifier 1 or qualifier 2, which you would want to fill in. And then we have our follow-ups there as well. We then can choose our booking. So do we want to book straight through into our calendar? If so, then all we need to do is either add a calendar link, or if we're using Go High Level, of course, we can then just select a calendar, and a point-wise will directly send over potential times that the person can book in. Okay. The final thing to look at is obviously knowledge base, and that is, well, it's not the final thing, there is one final step after this. That is really all of the context about your service. So paste in your website, any information you have about your product or service, any information you have about the ICP. The more context that the bot has, the better it is going to get at answering questions which are outside the box, which are designed to throw it off guard. Because sometimes people will test it. On a rare occasion, people will know they're speaking to a bot, and so they will stress it. So give it as much information as possible, it will handle its own. Now, there is a final step worth noting, and that is custom tasks. which is where we can add triggers based on things that are said within the conversation, and then actions we want to happen on the back end, okay, like tagging the CRM system, for example. Okay, so we have some default actions. So when do we want the lead to be complete? And we can add what that goal outcome should be, and AI will auto recognize. But we're going to do an add new trigger. I'm just going to show you what we would do in order to add a tag based on them being qualified. So we can call it whatever we want. The trigger is going to be when the lead mentions they are making over 10K per month. You notice, like, this is not some strict flow. This is AI recognizing in a very broad sense. Okay, are they making over 10K a month? Have they said this in the conversation? That is more than enough for it to recognize. We're going to hit create trigger. We've got add tasks. There are a number of different things that we can do. And then we're going to add a tag, revenue qualified. Okay, your tags can be whatever they want, and you can see this is going to enter that tag on Go High Level. We do want to make sure there is an existing tag on High Level that already exists on the platform. You can add that in your settings of High Level. And there we go. It's going to add that tag, and we're just simply going to hit save on that. And then we just hit save and exit. In fact, but we can go save and test, and we're going to test out this bot, and I want to show you it and how this actually is going to work. So hit start conversation. Now, this is a lead magnet or an agent that we created for our agency, Affluent.co. We work with e-commerce brands. And we created a lead magnet called E-commerce Growth Hub, which is a collection of resources, spreadsheets, etc., for e-com brands. And this is the bot that we've got going on there. And so we can go ahead and we can stress test this a little bit. So yes, I'm looking for the e-com Growth Hub. Okay, I'll send that in a sec. Quickly though, what's the average month revenue level of your brand? Why do you want to know? Obviously, this is the testing function, so we'd be able to see this in Instagram, in WhatsApp, whatever. Why do you want to know? Let's stress it out a little bit. Just helps me make sure the doc's actually useful for where you're at. Here's the link. Okay, so it's actually recognized as a bit of frustration there, and it's skipping. It's saying, oh, here's the link. Out of curiosity, what's your average rev level at the moment? Okay, well, it's 200K. Nice, that's solid. Keen to know what's your biggest bottleneck to scale right now. I don't know, probably scaling my team. Makes sense. It's a common one. If you want, we can chat about some ways that we've helped brands scale teams and ops. I love us abbreviating ops there. Would want to book in a quick call? I've got slots tomorrow at 9:30, 10 or 4. Any of those work? Nah, can you do 5? And what's the call about? Yeah, 5 p.m. work. It's the call is just a quick chat to see where you're at and share some ideas on scaling your team and see if our UGC meta service could help. Or want me to lock you in for 5 p.m. tomorrow? Actually, can't do that. Can you do? No worries, I don't have a 10 p.m. slot open, but I can do 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. tomorrow, or 3 p.m. Friday. So we have even more options here now. Any of those work for you? We've got direct access to the calendar. I'm being awkward here. It's still suggesting ones. It's even saying, like, not just tomorrow, but can you do Friday as well? Here's a time, and it's sending times which are as late as possible because the calendar is only open until 5 p.m. is the last call that we actually take in the agency. So, of course, this is an idealistic conversation, I would say. This is one where someone's actually responded. It's not all going to be like this. When the rule of large numbers in sales says that we are going to have people drop off. We are going to have people that opt into lead magnets and never come back. But as long as we have speed to lead, we have a conversational pace, we're going to get higher conversions doing this than any other lead magnet strategy that you can use at the moment, which is why people like Levi have been able to scale their agency from 8.5K to 50K a month while using systems like this. And to be honest, it's been like this secret weapon that I've been holding back with a few agencies I've taught it to inside of our elite program. But I recognize through observing this content and doing this for a long time now that a very small percentage of you will actually implement what I've taught you today. But those of you that do implement this will get some pretty saucy results. And I like that. I like to see you guys win. So play around with it for yourself. Opt in and DM me AI lead mag on Instagram at Jordan Platten. Drop me a follow. I'm going to send you over this exact prompt, but I'm actually going to send you over this JSON file, which you will be able to upload into your Pointwise account. You won't even have to use this prompt. You can have all of the settings that I've got set up on the back end of this AI agent, and you can plug it straight in today and get started for free on a 14-day free trial. So try it out. Go sign some clients. Subscribe for more. and I'll see you soon. Cheers.